won any primaries or caucuses outright, but Ron Paul has a loyal set of supporters. And while that might not be good enough to get him the GOP nomination, he is making his mark, impacting the race, and getting the chance to put his policies front and center. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen live in Washington with a closer look. James?
John and Jenna, good morning. There are people who believe, especially after the 2010 midterms, that Ron Paul is to the Tea Party movement what Neil Young was to grunge, the Godfather, the inspiration, the indispensable catalyst. On foreign policy, Paul's views have undeniably placed him out of the mainstream of his party, though. At Monday's NBC debate in Tampa, the Texas congressman said the U.S. has committed an act of war against Iran. And his suggestion during the Fox News debate in South Carolina 10 days ago that the U.S. endlessly bombs other countries and should adopt a golden rule in its foreign policy elicited booing from the audience. This week, the feisty former OBGYN was asked about a recent appearance on Nightline wherein he admitted he does not really see himself in the Oval Office.
Maybe they sit around and daydream about being in the White House. I just don't sit around daydreaming about it. But I'm in a race. I'm in a good race. You talk about electability. Why don't we take on the first 3 states and take everybody 30 years and under? I'm doing pretty darn well.
On the domestic themes that Ron Paul has been sounding for decades, the need for smaller government and lower taxes, the value of the Constitution and sound monetary policy, Paul has unquestionably helped shape his party's dialogue. Witness the change evident in Newt Gingrich over the last month, first at an ABC News debate in New Hampshire, and then after his big win last Saturday in South Carolina.
Dr. Paul has a long history of saying things that are inaccurate and false.
You have Dr. Ron Paul, who, on the issue of money in the Federal Reserve, has been right for 25 years. And while I disagree with him on many other things, there's no doubt that a lot of his critique of inflation, of fiat money, and of the Federal Reserve is, in fact, absolutely the right direction.
Now, a number of conservatives have warned the party's establishment figures to show respect for Congressman Paul so as not to offend his famously fervent supporters in November. John and Jenna.
They are fervent. We have seen that here. James Rosen, thanks.
Thank you.